Good morning. I'm Max, and I'm your host for Off the Beat. In this show, we have some special guests here, Dave Saragini and Preston Lobson, who are both based in London, and they are involved in the noise scene here. And in this show, we basically just talk about different experimental music genres and whatnot. So Dave and Preston, could you guys just give a quick introduction? Just introduce yourselves a little bit.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself. So I'm Preston. I am a noise musician and audio engineer in the London, Ontario area. I also have a day job that I do, but music takes up most of my private time.
Yeah, I'm David Saragini, also from London, born and raised. I make noise music, regular music, and visual art in my spare time.
Awesome. All right, so for the first question, just to give an idea of what noise music is to the audience, because some people might not really know. What is noise music to you guys? Like, how do you define noise music?
I would define it as any sort of music that is atonal, experimental, and otherwise just kind of pushes the boundaries of, I guess, like what's accepted as like standard music.
Yeah, it's. I feel it's a very like abstract expression through non-traditional sounds. It's almost the end of the line. If you start at one type of music, you end up here. There's nowhere else really to go.
Yeah. How did you guys first get into noise music?
I was mostly through accident, through just kind of experimenting on my own, releasing cassette tapes and music online. It was MySpace at the time, so it was quite a while ago. And just releasing cassette tapes, and eventually just found my way into the scene from there.
I was really active in, funny enough, not music related. I was a really, really big fan of independent and Japanese professional wrestling. And a lot of it had to do your downloading things, and there was a lot of music videos. And I was also really getting into like punk rock and metal. And through that, they were adding some music to these compilation videos. And I heard this band Napalm Death, who created this genre called grindcore. I was listening to that, and eventually that just kept getting like faster and faster and more, almost out of control. And then eventually it leads to, you find out about the crossover when they finally cross over into noise music. So I was in high school and found out about Japanese acts like Merzbow and Masana and things of that nature. So it was just a gradual progression of one underground, extremely nerdy thing into another.
And there's different subgenres of noise music, right? So what are they, and how are they different from one another?
Dave could probably speak more to this, but there are quite a few branching paths. There's things that cross over, right? There's like more noise rock bands, so that combining rock music with these experimental elements. There's noise core, which is blending in the grindcore elements. Harsh noise, which is more just like a wall of sound, I guess, more or less. And a million others we probably don't have time to talk about.
Yeah, it's all the same core idea. It's kind of where you're coming from. There's more academic music. There's bottom of the barrel harsh noise, just being as loud as possible. There's more things coming from a free jazz direction. So there's all these different ways of coming in that all have a million different names, but they're all basically the same thing. It's just an expression in the end.
Do you guys have like a favorite type of noise music, whether like you like to listen to or you like to play?
I tend to like harsh noise, I think, the most, but I also really like a branch off of it called power electronics as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've put a lot of time into the subgenre. One of the million subgenres is noisecore, which is more of using like traditional instruments. I've been doing that for well over a decade, almost pushing 20 years. So I enjoyed that. performing that. I also enjoy performing just, a more standard harsh noise.
Awesome. And what instruments do you usually use when you play, or just anything?
For certain noisecore performances, I'll use like a standard kind of rock setup, whether that's drums or guitars. I'm a bass player primarily, but when I'm performing harsh noise, I'm using a mixer and guitar pedals for effects.
Yeah, I use a lot of, for my solo work, I use a lot of guitar pedals. I really focus on my reel-to-reel tape recorder. Just basically anything I can get my hands on, they'll get the sound that I want in the end. But in a live setting, I've been using almost the same gear for 15 years now, which is a lot of guitar pedals, some things I've made myself, some things some friends have made. So just, it's a mix of a lot of various different things in the hope that it sounds good, which I know is a very subjective thing in this case.
And we have a couple minutes left before break, but you brought some stuff, right?
Yes.
Do you want to show us what you guys brought?
Yeah, I brought quite a few records, and I know a lot of the focus on, what got you into this was seeing our friend Ryusuke Kiyasu perform, and this was his former band Setestar Set from Japan. This is a record called Geromi, and there is 50 songs on it in about 12 minutes, I want to say. So it's very chaotic. There's a lot. It's almost, if you were to take the most chaotic jazz performance you've ever heard and throw it down the stairs. I also brought this record here. It's Incapacitance As Loud As Possible. It's the reissue that came out about 3 years ago. This is a seminal 90s recording of a Japanese group. As the name suggests, it's as loud as possible. It's very, very chaotic and harsh. But this has a personal appeal to me because they're also extreme fans of pro wrestling. So it's a lot of crossovers between interests. And this photo, this classic photo was actually taken at a pro wrestling bar in Tokyo. So it kind of proves that this stuff, it takes all your interests and put it into one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to wrap up. We're going to cut to break, and we'll be back. Okay, so I think we have like Welcome back to Off the Beat. We're back with Dave and Preston, and we're going to be showing some footage here of their performance at The Wall, and we'll pull it up on the screen here, but you guys can just kind of talk about what was it like playing at The Wall?
It was interesting because it was a new house venue that we both played quite a few house venues kind of in the past. I used to do shows myself at one point in time, so it was interesting kind of being in a new space. Kind of a new generation of people have taken the torch in London, so it was really cool to see a show like that in a new environment.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. Very, very packed in a very, very small space. And on a personal note, it was really fun because the band's usually 3 of us, but Preston and my partner as well joined us for that performance. So it was an extended lineup, and it was very nice to play with everyone.
Okay, and I wanted to ask what the process was like for creating noise music. I believe you guys brought some pedals and stuff.
Yeah.
You just want to take that out and talk about that?
Talk about it first. My process is typically pretty similar, like guitar pedals, mixing units, things like that, samplers at points. So I try to use, again, kind of what I can use. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's like you're almost like using something like a mixer, which is not considered like an instrument, in a sort of untraditional way to make it almost appear as like an instrument.
Yeah, and here, I'm kind of giving away all the secrets, but I know it probably looks like a series of just things plugged into each other, because it basically is. And you're just through experience, you figure out what all these different things do for the sound, and plug it all together and hope for the best, I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And do you guys practice like before a gig? Like, do you take out the equipment, practice, or do you just go in?
Practicing with this is kind of, because it's free form, right? There's not really like a practice in the sense of like there's like structured songs and things to sort of hit, but there is like a practice, in the way of like, I guess, sequencing the performance and kind of understanding what you're going to be doing. So yeah, sometimes we do practice, or what we'll do is just kind of like meet up to sort of discuss like what we're going to be doing. So that way we're kind of in sync. And eventually, after a while of working closely together, we end up kind of locking in, I think, naturally.
Yeah, usually before a performance, it all depends, but I'll spend a couple weeks just playing the same 10-minute set that I want to try to do live. It's never the same each time, but I'll try to go through the paces for a couple weeks at least, so when I perform, it goes well, I guess.
And what's the noise scene like here in London? Is it like different from other places in Ontario, or is it kind of unique?
It's definitely kind of unique in the sense of the history we have here. So we obviously have the Nyla Spasm Band, which is probably one of the longest running noise, noise acts, more broadly speaking. Really, maybe Dave can speak to this more, but really in the world. So we're quite lucky to have an act like that performs. And I think that is kind of what's always kept that seed alive and always ensured that there's been like a consistent kind of turnout for these events. They're not huge. I mean, I want to say it's not like this massive thing, but there's definitely like a select group of people that kind of keep the scene going, and it's definitely noticed outside of London for sure.
And are there other noise artists that inspired you, that any of your projects?
Yeah, I would say so. Just when I was younger, there's that was the tail end of the 2000s noise boom. So there was a lot of artists that came through that. But just going backwards, there's a lot of 90s Japanese artists like Masana, Incapacitants, who I showed earlier, Merzbow. There's Canadian acts like Fossils from Hamilton, who I enjoy. It's basically endless. I can spend all day just naming off groups, but basically your peers, your contemporaries also inspire you. So just everything around you just helps move it forward.
And are there any noise shows that stick out to you as like fun or memorable, like in your experiences?
I would have to say probably the noise show that we did outside. We had a series of shows probably about 10 years or more ago at this rate. We would kind of perform them in these austere environments. So there was one by the lake out by Sarnia. There was one, I believe, on a bridge, and then we did one off this trail just off Adelaide Street there under, I think it was the oldest tree in London. So the point of that was we had to perform and use as minimal equipment as possible to get the sounds we wanted. So that one was really fun.
Yeah. So there's lots of memorable noise shows. In 2009, I went to No Fun Fest in New York City, so that was a very eye-opening experience of getting a lot of just international acts I've never seen before. On a personal note, back in November, Preston and I played in Calgary and Edmonton, and that was a lot of fun. That was memorable because I've never traveled out of the province that far with Preston before to perform. So that felt like a lot of hard work was paying off.
And where do you see the future of noise music? Because I know you guys mentioned that there's like a new generation that's showing an interest in it. Where do you guys see the future of all this going?
I think it's definitely picking up a little bit more steam than it did in the past. I think we're both a little bit surprised about that because it used to just be a small contingent of maybe a dozen people. And now there's new people that are involved, more people that are taking an interest in it. I think it translates better when you actually see it live, and it doesn't just come off as like this weird little art statement, I guess, from afar. It's something you kind of have to experience more viscerally. And specifically in an age, I think, with Spotify and all these other kind of more like disconnected forms of enjoying entertainment, the experience of going to a performance and knowing that performance is unique and is going to be something that you remember specifically because you were there. I think that's very appealing to people.
Okay, we got to cut to break. But it's been really fascinating, like learning more about this, and I'm sure people have learned a lot more about noise music and everything. But for our final segment, we're going to show some footage of The Wall, all the bands that played, and we'll do that after the break. Welcome back, everyone. So to end things off, we're going to show some footage of The Wall. And there was about 4 different artists or groups that played, and we're going to be showing them right now.
I call this place The Wall because there's this big ass fucking, well, it's actually quite a small room. It's a small room over there with all sorts of shit on it. The general theme of the place is that if you have a good idea and you have something to write, you have something to say, then you should say it. And you should put it on the wall. Any wall, actually. There's lots of Sharpies around. I have an understanding with my landlord where I give him $1,588 every month, and in return he leaves me alone. And I've totally forfeited my my deposit at this point, so you know, fucking go well. The only real rule really is no slurs. And for some reason that rule exists because people have a problem with the rule. Welcome. This is the first ever noise show we've ever had here. Usually it's very acoustic. Yeah! And this is, yeah, can we get a little bit more of that actually? Yeah, so this is a really ridiculous thing that we're doing here. And I'm really appreciative that everyone is here to listen to it. This is probably the most I'm going to talk all night, but this is what it's like, yeah. I hope you enjoy. Please enjoy. I think that's all I have to say. Yeah, thank you. Please enjoy Bucket with Hole, or what are we going by today?
Bucket with Hole.
Bucket with Hole?
We'll stick with Hole for a while.
There's lots of
his reputation.
All right, please enjoy Bucket with Hole. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, ear protection required. Right? Bucket with Hole. Bucket with Hole. Oh, turn my shit back on. Here's something smaller than a table we put something on. Shirley! Right here. Shirley Temple.
I don't even remember us being
Oh
that
shit, Ben's
loud.
going under the table. Yo, fun fact about this man, he's a PhD.
Yeah.
Wait, but he's supposed to Canadian though.
Oh, fuck, bud.
Awkward.
Don't hit the fan, but can someone give this?
Oh god. Please, we need the table. Move. We're going in reverse. Watch out, everybody. My old floor tom. Wow.
Noise table.
Hey. Yo, I knew this guy. He straight up asked, he's like, will this table work for a noise table?
No one asked you, Dave. Wow. Hey, Dave, no one asked you.
What do you need? Yeah.
Tight as possible.
Kind of hot.
Yo, before we start, we got the Goon Medical Fart Split 7-inch. Buy some from Goon.
Yeah!
Goon Fart!
That's right. Good for what he said.
We are Goon. This is The Wall. Here's our first song. It's a single.
I think that London is more, I think, small place compared to other one. I mean, I never played a house show on this tour. I mean, this is the first house show, you know.
Yeah.
Small compact space. I mean, I felt a lot from the people, you know. People's reaction. Good vibe to me. I describe my music just snare drum solo, normal one, normal snare drum solo. Just improvise. Nothing special. It's normal. I don't think anything when I play, like a white canvas and a painting, some paint, you know, draw something, and when I play in a solo. I big inspired from like Milford Gravis.
Okay.
Yeah, who passed away already, but he's a free jazz drummer. This is just drum solo. I never say noise music. I never say like something different. But I mean, I think heart beating is different in each person, you know. Heart beating. So I think when I play a drum, you know, heart beating is changing. So it means that the tempo is gonna be changed. So yeah. I follow just my heart beating, you know. Never practice my snare drum. I practice a whole drum kit when I home, but I never practice snare drum solo. Don't have any idea when I just start and then play. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, every night different. Yeah. We have a lot of veteran artists in Japan. Like you know, we have a long history of noise music. So I don't have any like, particular person, but I inspired from a lot from like old, you know, I mean, veterans and new artists. Yeah. My favorite, yeah, of course, in Canada and Australia, Scandinavia, like Sweden and Norway, Finland, and Poland. I think yeah, my favorite is Poland right now. I want to go to Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, those kind of like Central Asia. I never been there. Also Africa, I never been.
But like that's. I know, no, it's a good worry. Feeling it. Yeah.
Alright. Table time. Fucking table time.
Jerry.
We'd like to welcome Oscar as our special guest.
All right, and that wraps up our show for today. We'll see you next time on Off the Beat.